Very good luck for the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. The stunner of the day, really, because the 49ers operating on a short week. The Rams were desperate. This was if you don't win this game, you are screwed, especially as it relates to trying to win your division.
Right.
And the Rams, who had lost 2 games 4 days apart, and they sounded great. All the cliches, everything. Oh, this. Hey, 3-2. We were 3-2 2 years ago, and everything worked out. Well, it didn't work out. They got shut down offensively by the 49ers. We get so caught up in the offense of the 49ers.
Right.
That defense is pretty good.
They're special, the defense. It really is. Robert Saleh, everything he's doing on that side of the ball, they dominated up front. And this is something I know we've talked about a little. This 49ers front, though, it's got everything. Speed, size, power, depth. So they're like, we talk about any great defense, when it comes time to play Tom Brady in the Super Bowl or any other team like that, they're going to be able to get home with their front four. And they absolutely smothered and just ran over the Rams' offensive line and made Jared Goff a non-factor and the running game a non-factor. And, 49ers, you could argue they're the best team in the NFL.
I know we got a long way to go before the Super Bowl, but I am so rooting for 49ers Patriots.
Would that be amazing? Jimmy G versus Tommy in his hometown.
The team that he was at the catch game, if you haven't heard 1,000 times.
I hear you.
Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Jerome Bettis is from Detroit. You know that?
I knew that. Thank you.
But anyway, it would be an incredible matchup. I would love to talk about that for 2 weeks. Tom Brady would not love to have to get away from that front four because that's the formula.
Yes.
Because you get pressure up the middle, you rush him, and you force him to get rid of the ball more quickly, and the next thing you know, he's on the ground. Yeah. And I don't know how much not having Todd Gurley affected the Rams. I had someone arguing with me last night that the threat of Gurley allowed the 49ers to play a little bit differently. That even though Gurley's not a workhorse anymore, when he's on the field, you have to account for him. Sure. He wasn't on the field. They weren't scared by Malcolm Brown. They weren't scared by Darrell Henderson, and they were able to focus on Jared Goff. Jared Goff, my God, 13-24 for 78 yards. I said last hour on the radio, the last time I saw a supposed franchise quarterback with those kind of numbers, that was when the Broncos shut down the Packers 4 years ago on Sunday Night Football. And that was the moment where it first looked like this Broncos team may have something that could carry them to the Super Bowl. Well, this 49ers team looks like it may have something that may carry it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. And, hey, does Todd Gurley make a difference? I don't really think so yesterday in that game. I don't, because it wasn't like, we just talked about the Rams O-line got steamrolled, and then they lost their starting left guard, Joseph Noteboom, who got hurt pretty badly. And I just think from that standpoint on, the 49ers didn't have to compromise anything they were doing in the pass coverage department because of their ability just to overpower them up front. But, man, when you just talk about Bosa, D. Ford, Armstead, DeForest Buckner, and then you get into their backups. When you have backups, Solomon Thomas is the number 3 pick of the draft, and he's coming off the bench, and other guys like that, pretty impressive. And, the 49ers, just what they've done to this point, it's an impressive resume. I think they're certainly the best team in the NFC right now. Now, the Saints are. I get you. I think that would be a great showdown. But I don't see a weakness to this 49ers team.
Your guy Kyle Shanahan and Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints, I think are neck and neck for Coach of the Year through 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because what Payton's done without Drew Brees is remarkable. But what Kyle Shanahan has done with that team is incredible. And I saw some quotes from him when I wrote about this Friday night. He was almost gleeful to have the challenge of not having his starting tackles and to not have his fullback.
Yeah.
That this is what football's about, and this is what I like. I like having to adapt. I like having to adjust.
He does.
I like having to get my guys ready and come up with different ideas when I know that there's somebody that isn't going to be available to me.
Right.
That's what he relishes about coaching in the NFL. And I guess I should have seen it coming.
Yeah, I hear you too. I picked the Rams because I thought the 49ers with those injuries and the Rams being desperate and having the long week, I thought, they'll win a real close one here. But obviously we were wrong. And Kyle is as creative as it gets on the offensive side of the ball. That's really something that I think we've all seen, really, even back to his days as being the offensive coordinator of the Houston Texans. Yeah, here's a story of how creative he is, all right? The Robert Griffin, Robert Griffin, they drafted him with his number 2 pick when he's with the Washington Redskins. And I know he's up late one night and he's stressing out because he's going to, I'm going to start a rookie quarterback. What am I going to do? He's got this special skill set. And, he basically kept him up, and he went down in the kitchen in the middle of the night and just started drawing on napkins and things and basically came up with that offense. But that's Kyle. He's always thinking about football, and he's one of those guys out there, and there's not a lot of them. Sean Payton being one of them, Doug Peterson, all of them. He can match the wits and the aggressiveness of a Bill Belichick if it came down to a Super Bowl. Not saying he's, to match him, toe-to-toe, but be very close, or certainly not be blown out to where that's a huge favor or a huge advantage for the New England Patriots. And that's why Kyle's awesome.
Week 14.
Ooh.
49ers at Saints.
Ooh.
That could determine
home
the
field.
1 seed,
yeah.
right, where the rematch would potentially be if it comes down to it.
Right.
And look, the Rams aren't done yet.
No.
But at 3-3, with the Seahawks at 5-1,
yes,
and the 49ers at 5-0, good luck climbing to the top of the division.
Yeah, I think the division's about almost unreachable. For the Rams,
right?
It's to that point.
And let's assume, as I think we should, that one of those two teams, 49ers and Seahawks, is going to win the division.
Right.
The other team's going to be the 5 seed or the 6 seed.
Yeah.
Look at the NFC North.
Yeah.
You've got you'd be in last place at 3-3 right now in the NFC North.
Yes.
So the Rams all of a sudden have to start worrying about not making it to the playoffs. And you and I both thought the Rams and the Saints wouldn't make it to the playoffs. Maybe we'll be right about one of those two, because the Rams have lost their way.
Yes.
And I don't know. This is like changing the tire on a moving car. And there's so much optimism that you hear, and it's cliche. At a certain point, you're just not getting it done.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Rams aren't getting it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.